Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 203 days until Christmas 2021, and I am excited to be doing this bonus stream with you all today. Been looking for an excuse to bring on a new friend that we've made in Discord, was introduced to in our Discord channel, and today is the day. Today I get to introduce to you all the man, the myth, the legend himself. Darth Elvis is with us. Hello!
Hot day, gentlemen.
This is so exciting for me. You know, when I was a kid, Elvis was a big deal to me. I was a huge Elvis fan, and I would play his records in my bedroom and pretend to be Elvis, like for hours on end. And here, this is super exciting for me to get to spend a little bit of time talking to you. And knowing what you're involved with, I'd like to introduce some folks. Tell us what all you have been up to.
So for the last 14 years here, I've worked for Darth Elvis around the world. So I'm getting an echo here.
Yeah, you're cutting out just a hair, just a touch.
Is that better?
Yeah.
So it's the last 14 years, almost 15 years now. I've been performing as Darth Elvis around the UK mainly, but a few gigs in the US and playing Star Wars themed parody songs. So I started out just doing Elvis numbers, and ever since I've kind of introduced some other songs: Green Day, Weezer, Lionel Richie more recently. Metallica, you name it, all sorts of crazy Star Wars themed tunes. So
well, the Lionel Richie one that you released this week entertained me to no end. And folks, I mentioned it this morning on the live stream as we were doing the Bad Batch watch party. If you've not gone to Darth Elvis's YouTube page, you should do yourselves a favor. Some point today, over the weekend, go and listen to some of the songs. This last one, the Lionel Richie parody, is absolutely perfect.
Thank you very much.
I love it so much. And you're also an autograph collector, is that right?
Yeah, so I've been collecting Star Wars autographs probably for let's see. I bought some early, probably 99, 2000 were the first ones I bought, which turned out not to be genuine. And that was about 2007, the same sort of time Darth Elvis started, to be honest, that I started picking up autographs, and I've been collecting on and off ever since, pretty much. So got most of the big names. Some I'm still working on, and I guess my focus now is Mandalorian, because I just love the show so much, as you can probably my Mando shirt on.
I love the Mandalorian too, and I saw that our mutual friend is in the chat. Martin stopped by earlier and he said bonjour to everybody. Martin, my nemesis there. No, I absolutely love Martin, and we've been having a lot of fun with the Hasbro events and talking with one another. And I need more vintage collection figures from the Mandalorian, and I'm just not getting enough. And so there's another Hasbro event next week, and I get another chance to have Hasbro let me down. That's basically what it's going to be.
They're going to get coal. They're going to get coal mine.
They're in big trouble. They're absolutely in big trouble. And Martin's preparing some balm to soothe Santa's wounds. Yeah, the rage is coming. The rage is coming. They get me worked up every single time. And at least the vibe I'm getting from the event coming is it's going to be Black Series heavy.
Yeah.
And we better get some nice vintage collection figures is all I'm saying. So I do want to jump into what we're talking about today. You live in the region, in the part of the world where they're filming the Andor series, or part of the Andor series anyway.
Absolutely. So yeah, they're filming Andor all over the UK at the moment. Like it seems to be every corner of the UK seems to be getting some Andor action this time, which is great. And it's not often. In fact, I think it's the first time that they've filmed any Star Wars in Scotland. So normally it's nice and cool and rainy and snowy in Scotland, but at the moment it's hotter than Mustafar. I don't know if you can hear. I've got a fan blowing in the background. So normally, Rockstar, the hair be blowing in the wind, but I don't have any hair. So
that's great. And there's Martin foiling me again. Right, they have it in their plans to let me down. It makes for better YouTube videos, I have to say. You know, rage videos get more clicks, so I got to appreciate that they, are making Santa angry. I have to get that emoji that Mark made for me with the Sith Santa, so I could have Red Eye Santa on the thumbnail. We need to have that because that gets clicks every single time.
You need the blurg for Christmas. The blurg will have to be in your hands for Christmas this year.
Absolutely, it has to be. So let's take a look at these photos you took. And you'll have to tell us a little bit about where you were and what we're looking at.
No problem. So I live in the northeast of Scotland, up near Aberdeen, a little bit further north than Aberdeen. So this was about a 4 hour plus drive down to Argyll and Bute. This was I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to say Cruachan Dam is the name of the place they're filming this particular part, and this is just next to a village called Dalmally. So we drove up, and you can't get very far. It's a private road, so parked at the bottom of this hill, which we thought it's going to be a little hill. And about an hour and a half later, as we kept turning corners and going, oh, surely this is the last corner. This will be the last corner. And we're getting to the point. It's like if we turn the corner and we don't see anything, we're going home.
So this is for sure man-made lake you're looking at here. We'll see here. You mentioned it's a dam. And here's another picture as you're going down that road. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't remember the name of that particular. That's a loch you saw in that photo. I was taking some scenery shots as I was walking up because although Star Wars stuff is stunning to look at, I've never been to Argyll and Bute. Some of the scenery down there was incredible. So I was being greeted as I was taking pictures quite a lot by sheep.
I saw those in one of the pictures. Let's see if it's in the next one here. No, it's not in this one. But yeah, there's a number of sheep.
There was a lot of sheep. I even had to stop because we wanted to get as much time down there as we could, so we didn't stop on the way down the drive. So by the time we got there, I needed to make an emergency trip to the gentleman's facilities, if you like, and I had to go for a country wee, as we would call it up here, and there was a couple of goats giving me the stink eye as I was doing so. So very much in the heart of nature, in the heart of Scotland there. So that's the loch again. You see, as we move on, we'll get another sort of aerial shot there.
Yeah. So this is a holding area now. You can see these big like sandbags.
Yeah. I suspect they're going to be they'll be holding people there before they take them up because that's still about halfway down the mountain there.
Okay.
I think that'll be a holding area, and I imagine they'll be using some of this to kind of lay down on the around the scenery, as you'll see when we move on.
All right. So here we go. First kind of money shot we have, and again, this is the dam. It's been here. This is not like new to the set, right?
No, that's the dam itself. But what you see in front of that,
yeah. Let me reposition it here. So, is this a security type person here?
Indeed is a security man. A nice gentleman.
Yeah, did you get a visit with him? Okay, well, very good, very good. So you can look down here. This is definitely an embankment, or we've got a nice gun up on top, the turret, right? All of that.
Yeah.
Now, were they working on it? I see a machine here. It looks like there's a dude in there.
No, there was no one there. This was on Sunday, so I guess there was some security people around. There was sort of trucks going up and down the hill and round the place, just making sure nobody was doing anything they shouldn't be. Yeah, so they're keeping a close eye on things. Down the hill on the left, to the left of that picture, there was a big white tent, which I imagine will be where costume and everyone will be, pulling things together for getting people ready for filming.
Gotcha.
I think in here they're filming this month. I think for 2 to 3 weeks they'll be filming this location, and they're also filming in a place called what's it called now? Glen Tilt, I think it's called, which is up in Perthshire.
Nice.
It seems to be quite a big set there, but it's a 15-kilometer walk to get to it.
Woo! That's a decent a walk. And so here's some of your sheep.
There's the sheep. There you go. That's Agnes and Mavis. Fine young ladies.
Yeah, we got a couple of sheep here, and again, the dam you can see. And they've got again. I think help me out. Is that just over this little ridge that we were looking at before?
Yes. Yeah. So I would imagine that's going to be used in the shots. I mean, it looks incredible. I think with that and the gun turret, and if they're bringing some more set pieces in there, I think that'd be a great little scene there. Yeah,
as Mark said, that dam looks fairly imperial.
Yes, I would totally agree. Yeah, very much.
Are those Union sheep? That's what we.
I didn't see any equity cards or anything on them, so.
Oh, that's great. Again, the sheep there in the foreground, and we zoom in here just a little bit. We can see some activity going on. Now, are these are just air foils or something like that, right? They're pre-existing, or is that?
I think, yeah, the things up there. The guy had said there was riggers and stuff working. I think there might be more set pieces possibly further up.
Okay.
My little legs couldn't carry me any further. How much further I would have gotten, to be honest.
Right. So here's a real good close-up, the back side of that turret, right? So, oops. No, quit that. I mean, I got to bring it back up here. Just a second, guys. And I noticed you can see, the steps going up the backside here. They've got the gun covered up and a couple of antenna there. It's a fantastic photo.
I did ask if I could walk up the steps, and I was told I'd be rugby tackled off if I did. I was tempted.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll do the porg treatment to the sheep, right? They took those, what were they? Those birds, the native birds there.
Puffins,
right? And they turned them into porgs. So you got to take the sheep and turn them into something, right?
I think they'll turn them into like mini bamfers or something. It could be like a
Oh, that's great. So that's a first really, really good shot from that turret. And here you can see quite a bit of this is I think what you were talking about before.
Yeah, before the sort of there was a lot of kind of little buggy things, I think, to get people to and fro the set, and a lot of things going on down there. I think that's mainly where the costume setup will probably be. There was also on the drive down, we passed through another village quite near Loch Lomond and Loch in Hare, I think it was called, and I think that was the kind of meeting point where they would then bus you to set, because there was another, again, big tents. They probably do all your COVID tests and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I think,
yeah. And our familiar sheep are down here hanging out. I saw them in the there they are.
There's Angus.
They're hanging out there, and here you can see the dam over on the other side, and some of the work going on there. And then let's move on. We're back to the turret again.
I think the most impressive thing you'll see in these pictures is the blue sky.
Yeah.
Don't see it much in Scotland.
It's a really nice day. And you imagine these wires will be taken out of the photos when they actually do the shooting. They'll clear those out. Yeah, and then I saw here's another close up of the turret. We can kind of see what's going on there. Very classic, Star Wars antennas. It's great, and I saw you've got some. There's some parts laying around here and there. Here we go.
Some greeblies.
Yeah. So there you go. You got some antennas. That's fantastic. It's fantastic. So apparently they'll be building more.
Yes, I think there must be more coming. So I probably won't do another drive there. I might attempt Perthshire at some point. They've also filmed all over the UK, down in Essex, I think, and over in Blackpool direction. Some great video footage from the Blackpool set on YouTube. One of the impressive things in this picture is the traffic cone.
Yeah. I saw. You think that it will canonize traffic cones? Maybe?
I'm hoping so. The usually in Scotland they're on top of like statues, like somebody stuck them on top of a statue's head. It's a rare occasion you see it just lying around.
Any idea what's under the tarp?
No, nothing. No idea. I should have tried a sneaky peek when the guy wasn't looking, but
yeah. You can see they've got some lumber laying around here. They're working on something back in this area down in here. Right. So we've got a good bit of mess here. Probably something going on in the foreground. We'll have something coming across and the guns to shoot at them. That kind of idea. But let's see. Let's go on. There's a nice shot of that turret. You can get let me zoom in on that camera, the cannon there, just the end of it. You can kind of see the end of it there. And again, the blue skies of Scotland.
Yeah.
It's a rare sighting of blue skies in Scotland. Imagine that.
We were wondering what the big orange thing in the sky was, and I thought we were in trouble.
It's absolutely gorgeous. You were there on what they call here a Chamber of Commerce Day. Have you heard that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Where people are, attracted to go visit a place because it's so pretty. We got some folks milling about down in here.
There was a few folk walking. I think it's quite a popular walk, although it wasn't too busy that day. And there were a few people, I think, drove up and got quickly turned around and sent back down again. As it's been.
Martin, the blue sky means you'll be able to pinpoint which day of the year you were there.
Yeah, exactly.
There was that one day back in April, May. Oh, that's great. And then let's see. Oh, here we go. Another shot of the turret in front of that dam.
Yeah, this is me trying to get it from the front, from far away.
Yeah.
So as not to get into trouble.
You managed to get yourself in a little bit of trouble from what I hear anyway.
Yeah. They might come. I'm still waiting for a cease and desist from the mouse, and I think if I ever get one, it'll be framed on my wall. Because,
it's the same here. If they come find us, shut us down. You can see they've got some stuff to help protect the ground. I imagine, as you mentioned, the weather would lead to some soft ground, and they're driving equipment over it all the time. It would get quite muddy, right?
But apparently we're getting a heat wave. We're in like, this is, I think, the end of week 1 of heat wave in Scotland. So I think they might be surprised. Maybe they were expecting rain for shooting, and they're not going to get it. They might go to Ireland instead.
Yeah, go to Ireland instead. Well, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the valley back there behind. Wow. Let me go back up here.
As I say, on the drive down, you passed a lot of other lochs. So like Loch Lomond, which is a famous loch in Scotland, and it was mobbed. People out on jet skis, and it's like, wow, I didn't even know we had jet skis in Scotland.
This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then more of our pieces and parts there with the famous traffic cone.
Yeah, that was taken by my son. So if he's under 18, so you can't put him in prison. So
good question. What planet do you think they're filming? I don't know.
I think it might be a new one, to be fair. I suspect that the filming they're doing here and the filming they're doing in the other Scottish location, Glen Tilt, I think that'll be the same location. They'll just mix the shots together. Because they've built bridges and all sorts of things up there, and a full sort of camp, because it's so far away from main roads. As I say, it's about 15 kilometers. It's quite awkward to get to, but the place they're shooting, funnily enough, is the RAF call it Star Wars Valley, because it reminds them of the Death Star trench.
Oh.
So I thought it was quite a nice little thing they're shooting in Star Wars Valley.
That is nice. Yeah, never heard of that, but and that's great. And as you mentioned, I mean, they do a good bit of Star Wars shooting in the UK. So
yeah, so they've been in Pinewood and Essex, as I say, Blackpool. There's been another couple of quarries and things around the UK.
So that's nice. If you can kind of see it's built into the hillside a little bit here, into this bank. Really nice. Now, do you know, like, you can see these viewports, the steps go up. Is there any way to go in?
I couldn't see anything, but I didn't get round the side where you can see the window bit there. I didn't get in that side, so I imagine there must be some sort of door to get in there, unless there's steps going down, like a ladder going down from the top there, possibly. Yeah. But
yeah, this is solid around here. There's no door here.
No.
So, and I don't remember seeing one from the other side either. So that's quite.
Maybe it's a ladder from the top down.
Yeah, it could be. Or they don't need to get on the inside, so that they won't bother. Perhaps. There you have. Oh, there you can see that. So they do have it prepared for rain. It's quite covered in plastic. Yeah.
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 The steps are quite. It's just strange when you see the steps. Obviously, you can just tell it's wood there.
Right.
Obviously, that's probably not going to be in the shot, so they didn't have to worry about it being the same color as the rest of it. But my son's going, "Oh, it's metal." I think it's all wood, son. Nah.
No, the surface here, metal or some sort of like fiberglass or something.
Not sure. I was tempted to give it a knock, but I didn't get rugby tackled by
right.
the Glaswegian gentleman that I spoke to.
There's our sheep again in the foreground, stealing some camera time. Getting on screen. Yeah. And the dam in the background.
So,
we're back to the beginning. Well, yeah. No, this is a separate shot, but it's the same. Yeah.
Apparently, at this location, there's a visitor center down the road. We drove up to that first of all, and when it's typically open, there's an underground part. There's like a whole underground facility under here apparently. So we're wondering if they're actually going to use that in any shots as well.
Oh,
They have a tour at the moment.
So, yeah, here you can kind of see the other side of the turret. Again, I don't see any doorway or anything like that. And this is the same turret or a separate one?
That's the same one. Yeah.
Yeah. Were there several there or just the one?
Just that one. Yeah, just that one.
It looked like this is the last photo. There's no more forward. It looked like there was material there to build more, for sure.
Yeah.
We saw all those antenna laying around and things like that. And so I would expect that there might be a couple more added before the filming truly gets going. Yeah.
I think there's still about a week, I think, before they start filming here. I think I did find, if you go to, I signed up to lots of different extra agencies in the UK, in the hope that one day I might actually get my face on camera in a Star Wars movie. But even the back of my head, I'd be happy. But so they're looking for military people for this location. So there's an extra advert out there for military experienced people.
I see. It makes sense. It looks like it's gonna be an imperial base of some sort. Let's see. We got a couple other comments. Nikki stopped in just to say hi. Appreciate that. In my head, Elvis is in full indoor rebel camo. Stop giving the pictures. There you go. And Dale, Lucasfilm doesn't care if the Scots know everything. They hate American. No, I think you did a show the other day, and Lucasfilm said we don't want these things posted online. Yeah.
Yeah. So being careful what we're doing.
Yeah.
Get yanked off now.
Well, hopefully, my channel's small enough and they don't get bent out of shape and have something against having this discussion. It's truly a remarkable day that you were able to get out there. And you said it's how 2-3 hour drive?
It was about a 4-hour drive from. Yeah, I live. I'd stayed at my parents' house, so it was slightly less than it would have been if I'd left my own house. But it was about 4 hours.
About 4 hours.
4 hours down, 4 hours back, and a very tired Dark King and teenager by the time I got back.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, if anybody has any questions, Dale starts recording. If anybody has questions, let us know. You can put them in here. And if you're catching this on a replay, assuming that it's not, taken down by somebody, if you're catching on a replay, we'll check the comments from time to time. But the best way to get hold of us is in our Discord. You come to the Discord. Darth Elvis is there. He's in the building. We can.
I'll put these pictures in this Discord later on once in the Andor part. So
awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. So come join the Discord. The Discord link as well. If you're not catching it live, catch it in the description here. Come join the Discord, and you can catch some of these photos and take a look at them there. Martin, you got to watch Martin. What other locations have you been to?
I've been very lucky. I know some wonderful people. I was on a trip in the States a couple of years back, and in fact, so 3 years ago now, to renew my wedding vows. Went to Vegas, where Mr. Keeler was my best man.
Nice.
10-year wedding anniversary, and between Vegas and LA, we made a stop in Death Valley, and we found the location where Obi-Wan overlooks Mos Eisley. The viewpoint when you're looking down Mos Eisley spaceport. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yes.
We found that viewpoint, and the hairs on our arms were standing on end. And I'm also quite lucky. I've got a friend who worked in the hair and makeup department in the FX department for the sequels. So we, not the last day, but over weekends, they were allowed cast and crew to bring friends down to the set. This was on Rise of Skywalker. And we're very lucky to get a tour of the Kijimi set.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which was breathtaking, and it had stormtroopers out in costume and stuff to kind of give it the feel. But if you ever want to see a grown man cry, the next location, we kind of got taken into a sound stage, and it was this kind of wooden framed thing, and you can't really tell what it is straight away until you get to the bottom of a very familiar ramp. And I just put one foot onto that, and it was just like rolling down the eyes.
Oh boy!
We got a tour of the inside of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh wow!
And that was proper grown man sobbing.
Oh, I can imagine. And, you know, I've seen just people the same sort of reactions just going to Disney World to Galaxy's Edge, and they come around the corner and they get that look at the Falcon. And I've seen the same thing: grown men weeping, right, just to be there at the park.
Yeah. I cry every time I see Martin Keeler, to be fair.
Don't do that.
Because I love him so much. Martin, don't share the video. Don't share the video, Martin.
I love Martin too, and I'm so happy that Mark has introduced me to both of you. Right, I met both of you through Mark Hamilton. It's been fantastic, and we've really enjoyed getting to know one another. And my family heritage goes back to Scotland, and it's been one of those things where the family has always wanted to go visit. And maybe one of these days, Santa will get to come visit. That would be wonderful.
You're welcome anytime here. So,
thank you.
There's the
Thank you. Martin's a Hasbro shield. Well, we know that. Right. He defends them. Oh, they need more money, Santa. They can't make your vintage collection Quill and Blurred because it's just too expensive. And you would think with the money that Martin and Mark themselves just spend on the toys alone, that they'd have enough to make a Quill and a Blurred.
Absolutely. Even just the Zuvios Martin buys is. I was online earlier on today asking somebody how much he was selling the Zuvio for, because I'm used to buying them and stashing them aside for Martin.
Yeah, when you're playing cards, is an ante like. Oh, that's great. So Mark did ask, what toys are you looking forward for?
Ooh, the Bad Batch. I'm really excited about. I've ordered the Black Series Bad Batch guys, so I'm hoping they'll eventually do Echo as well. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Interchangeable hands or whatever they're going to do. But I'd like to see them in Vintage Collection line as well.
Thank
you. And obviously a Blurg.
Thank you. Martin just wants the Black Series stuff. You know, us vintage collectors, we can just, starve. That's okay. We can just, look at their Black Series stuff and drool. Let's say, wouldn't it be nice if I had that in a vintage collection toy? That'd be great.
Martin's wanting the archive collection Zuvio to go with the other ones, and probably a Zuvio helmet.
A helmet.
Black Series helmet.
Yeah, we know a guy that does helmets. By the way, maybe we could talk Major Props into getting Martin a Zuvio helmet. There we go.
I think that has to be done. I think actually.
I think so too. And you mentioned going after some autographs. You've been collecting the Mandalorian ones. What's the next that is on your list? Something that you're looking forward to getting soon?
Ooh, I'm waiting to get. There's a signing coming out with Rosario Dawson. So I'm waiting to get Rosario Dawson on an Ahsoka picture. Who else is there? I think that's the next big one I'm waiting for. Got to be careful in case the wife's listening. Yeah, that's Rosario Dawson. I think who else there is in season season 2 that I haven't got yet. I'm waiting for a Giancarlo Esposito one as well.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
Yeah. And we have some folks who have mentioned, and I thought about doing a stream until this one came up. I was trying to think of how am I going to get Darth Elvis on a stream, and I was thinking about you and Martin and perhaps another guest to talk about how do you get into collecting. And I know from personal experience as well, and we're still in the process of verifying, but getting autographs can be a tricky thing. Help folks out who may be getting into it to avoid some of the pitfalls others have made in getting autographs.
One of the things first bit of advice probably would be avoid eBay, unless something comes Beckett or PSA DNA authenticate, and even then double check, because each authenticated item, like from Beckett or somewhere like that, will have a little ID number on it, and you can go to the website and do a search and it'll tell you what that item is, so then you can verify that okay, that's that same picture. So avoid buying on eBay unless, like I say, you've done your homework and it's authenticated from somewhere. Official Pics is a great site. They had the Star Wars license for many, many years, and their ones had a shield. So they had photos you could buy, which had the circular Star Wars logo, but the ones that actually got signed in the presence of Official Pics had a Official Pics shield on as well. So they were good. They've had signings recently with Ming-Na Wen. I'm trying to think of it. They've just announced a signing with Lupita Nyong'o.
I saw you posted that. Now, I had a question about that one. You put that on the Discord that signing was coming. It looked like it was going to be virtual, or did I read it wrong?
Yeah, so at the moment, there's still some conventions, I guess, are happening, but sites like Official Pics and Star Wars Autograph Universe, all those signings are virtual, so you could either order an item from them, or you can send in your own item. So on both the websites, there's options for you to do a send-in, and then send-ins, you can obviously select posters. I think bigger size items, obviously the price goes up a wee bit, unfortunately. Same with if you want to get quotes and personalizations and things like that, they normally add an extra price on top for those, which is why I tend not to get personalizations now, because sometimes it's as much as the autograph itself, which is like just to get something to sign it to you, and it makes it harder for reselling later on. Obviously, I'm now thinking I'm getting older. Day will come when people won't want autographs signed to Darth Elvis. So I'm thinking when it comes to the time that my wife or kids come to sell my collection,
well,
I will take it with me.
Oh, very good.
I take with me.
Yeah. And Mark has a great question. Ming-Na Wen she has broken the space-time continuum. She is amazing. She's not aging a bit. And so when you talk about characters in universe not aging appropriately, that's for exception of Ming-Na Wen, she could exist through all the trilogy eras at the same age.
Donnie Yen as well. He's another guy who just doesn't age. And although he's dead now in Star Wars, so we can't have him come back, but he could play a younger version of himself, I'm sure, because he looks incredible still.
That's amazing. It is amazing.
Tips.
Oh, they're having fun. Mark and Martin and you.
Or trouble.
You are. And it's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time getting to visit. So for somebody looking to get into autographs, so you mentioned about some things to look for and avoid eBay. And just for myself, I'm going through authentication with Beckett now on an item I purchased. Some people may have seen the Vader picture that I had, and you and Martin and Mark reached out to me and said, "Oh, you may want to go have that checked." I did have a letter of authenticity with it, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything unless it's from, like, my letter of authenticity came from something that is a bit of a variation of another agency that is quite clever in that it sounds a lot, looks a lot like the agency that's very valid, except this one's not. And I think I may have that with me. Just one second. So you mentioned Beckett. And what was the other one you mentioned? It's good.
PSA DNA is another one. Beckett would be my first port of call. Star Wars wise, if you just want a quick opinion, Beckett will do one for, I think it's $10. They'll give you, like, just from a picture or a couple of pictures they'll look at, and they'll say if it's likely to pass authentication.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do send it in, they'll take that $10, I think, the price of the actual item, because depending on who's signed it, the price goes up. Like a Mark Hamill will be more expensive to get verified than but I think there's something. Billy D. Williams, I think, would be slightly cheaper to get verified than a Mark Hamill. And Harrison Ford, you're speaking, would be more than Mark Hamill.
And the Mark Hamilton autograph would be at the very top of the list, right?
I've got a couple of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I reached over. Yeah, I've got this letter of or certificate of authenticity that I got with that one, and it says IPA authenticated. But IPA, there is an agency that has a similar name, but it's not exactly like that. So they can say, yeah, we're not that, but you think that they're that, right? Yeah. And you'll find out that they're not. So I sent that in. There's several clues on this to say it's suspicious, right?
Letters of authenticity. Letters of authenticity. I can say it. Most of the time, I wouldn't trust. I'm sitting in my living room at the moment, and I've got a poster on this wall, which is apparently signed by lots of people. And I think now, down the line, I've now been collecting for, as I say, 15, 20 years almost. It's probably not genuine. And my wife used to buy me stuff for Christmas all the time from one particular guy who had a nice laminated letter of authenticity, saying exactly where they got the people's autographs, and so she thought that was genuine. And again, I've had people look at one or two of the things we've bought from that guy, and it's like, no, not good.
Yeah,
so you live and learn. Unfortunately, I think getting in early at an early age, I got stung quite a few times. Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford autographs were both fake. I got Mark Hamill confirmed himself. Like, he used to let you direct message him on Twitter with a picture of something you've got signed, and he'd tell you if it was real or fake. He told me it was fake, and that was a sad moment. But
yeah, it's tough. And if you're just getting into it and you want to buy something, what like entry level stuff, what kind of price might you be able to get something that's authenticated that you can rely on?
It all depends on the person, really. What I would collect what you like, I would say. You can get a Harrison Ford, but he's going to cost you $900. Unfortunately, that's his kind of rate when he does a private signing. I started off early doors with some of my favorite the movies, like Admiral Akbar. So Tim Rose, he'd probably be about a $20 to $30 price mark, I would have thought. I think it was about €20 when I got him in Essen, where I first met Martin Keeler. I would just collect you like, if you can get to a convention, all the better, because obviously there's nothing better than actually meeting the person, having a conversation, getting a picture as well if you can. So some of my best memories are going to conventions with my chums and meeting and meeting the stars and getting some time with them to chat. Unfortunately, in the current climate, you can't really get out there. And because of where I'm based, I don't get the chance really to meet some of the bigger names. They don't come to UK very often, so I'm doing a lot of private signings at the moment.
So the next Star Wars celebration out in Anaheim, is there going to be a Darth Elvis appearance?
Oh, I would love that. I'm working. I'll see what I can do. It'll be my 15th anniversary next year, so I want to celebrate in a big way. I'm thinking definitely going to put an album out next year, with probably the title "Hotter Than Mustafar." That's what I'm liking that at the moment. His hairband album title, so I think that might have to be done. Not that I could be in a hairband, as you can see.
Well, you know, you can move to the next stage of life and join me in the Santa organization.
I could probably grow these long enough I can comb them over.
Hey, Jake Farrell, first live stream. What's good? Hey, if you missed it earlier, we went through the Andor photos that Darth Elvis was able to get there in Scotland, and we've been talking about that. And then also, Darth Elvis is a autograph collector, so we've been talking about that here lately. And if you've missed his YouTube channel, go check it out. You can find it on. Just search Darth Elvis. And look for that guy. You'll find him. He does some fantastic stuff. And you've appeared at a couple of celebrations, right? One or two?
Yeah. So first ever gig actually was at Star Wars Celebration Europe 2007. That was the debut gig for Darth Elvis, and that was really when my autograph collection really kicked off. And the last one I did was in Chicago, the last celebration. Amazing gig that Mr. Keeler was partially involved in organizing. Great lineup. Blues Harvest, another band from the UK who are fantastic, and some of the guys from Blues Harvest play in Darth Elvis and Friends. Just an incredible show. It was at the Museum of Science and Industry, and it about 3,000 people. It was like a Canto Bite themed show. We had a Darth Elvis Latinx conga line going. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
I've been very, very, very lucky to have good friends in this crazy world of Star Wars that have led me down some incredible journeys, gig-wise. Getting to play with a band I'll be watching tomorrow night called Ash. You might know them well.
I don't know them well, but there's a member of the band I think that I've heard of.
Yeah, so, we had the pleasure of playing with them at a gig called #Cantina. That was before Star Wars Celebration Europe in 2016. Yes, 2016, and that was incredible because that was a dream come true. Been a fan of the band for many, many years, and to actually get to play with them was a true honor. And to be able to say one of them's a friend is really fantastic.
It's pretty amazing. Like this community is amazing. I've been very fortunate to get to meet you, get to meet Martin, and get to know Mark. Just some tremendous people, and of course we've made lots of friends through Discord who are regulars. Mike Porter and many others. It's just fantastic, and I have watched a couple of the videos from the celebration, and they're great. They're great. You got Akbar up there playing, and the whole bit. It's great.
Weird shows. One of the weirdest shows I played was at Celebration Europe again. I did the Costume Club's after party, and that was at Madame Tussauds in London.
Oh yeah,
the Wax Museum. So I was on stage singing away, and there's Miley Cyrus and a giant tongue, and Freddie Mercury and Jimi Hendrix surrounding you. It's whoa, this is weird.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I know we had planned an hour, give or take. And so I think we'll kind of wrap it up here. I do want to get something with you and Martin and some of us together to do a stream talking about collecting more. And Mark, we'll answer this as we close out. Predictions for next week's Bad Batch.
Oh, yeah, I think when we saw the character pop up in the holo feed, my son was like, "That's Bail Organa," and I'm kind of going down the path. I think it might be Rex with and Ahsoka's possibly there. I think in tying all the different series together, so people who have maybe seen Ahsoka only in live action in Mandalorian, maybe never watched Clone Wars, but they've gone from Mandalorian to Bad Batch. They might obviously get to see Ahsoka there, and then go back and watch some Clone Wars and Rebels. So I think we're going to see them possibly, and I think we'll get to see Wrecker totally going to the other side. I think the good soldiers follow orders. I think that'll come full circle next week. I think.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
What do you reckon?
I think that I've seen the speculation that they could become Task Force 99, and there's one of the Task Force 99 characters has the body build of Wrecker, for sure.
Okay.
And if that's the case, that would be tragic in many ways. But part of me is holding back on that because my thought of it being more of a team kind of show, and that they're going to want to go multiple seasons. They're already with the implication of the episode titles being like 116, for example. We saw on the score for the final episode. The implication of a 1 is that there's a 2. So if there's season 1, there very much could be a season 2. Mark just realized our shirt coordination here. I went and changed shirts actually when once Greg came in. I said, oh, I've got to go grab one of my Hawaiian shirts. I grabbed this one. I've got about 4 of them that are Santa themed as well, and I just didn't grab one of those fast enough. So.
Oh, maybe next time I'll wear that one.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll be able to switch up shirts. I think that it's unlikely for me to see them switch because they would limit them on. Here we go. This is the dude. Hold on, let me get this guy's picture here. I can't remember his name. I saw that Darth Chaco put in the in his prediction. Let me put it over here, and I'll share the screen with folks so you guys can see. And I can't remember his name.
It's Clancy
Ryder.
From
Ryder Azadi. So I hadn't thought of Ryder, but the clothing would match.
Yeah.
And this is from Clone Wars era, so it very well could be that. I think Darth Chaco put that up this morning. Now he's got me thinking it could be that. And I put this up again just to remind me that next week on the 9th, we're going to get on with Martin, and I will. He mentioned we'll cry if we're on screen. Next week, I'll cry if Hasbro doesn't give me what I've been wanting. I think
ask Martin for the infamous video. You'll get to see Darth Elvis in full teary mode.
In the Falcon.
No. Oh, I wish we got to take pictures. We got a picture taken at the end of the day. In a smaller sort of sound stage, and they had some stuff in the background like trees and some of your sort of typical Rebel screens and stuff. Yeah. And we had a picture with Chewbacca, R2, and BB-8.
Martin, he's emailing him now to tell him to hold back on the blurg. Yeah. We need that red eye Santa thumbnail just to get the clicks. So appreciate that, Martin. Thanks.
I've a shirt upstairs with blurgs on it. So I've got a shirt with a blurg on it before you've got a vintage collection blurg, which is awful.
It is awful. That's terrible. And so, but next week, I think we've established now that they're mercenaries for hire and that Sid is giving them jobs. But we have also seen that Wrecker's chip is starting to progress. So it may come to more of a head to get that fixed. Rather than go on another mission. And if they go to get that fixed, then we may get the Rex episode sooner than later. So right now, if I were to lean a direction, it would be that one. I think I will lean towards meeting up with Rex to find out more about these chips and how they can get them fixed. Now, one of the complaints that my friend Darth Lunga has complained about is the Echo is with them, and Echo already knows about the chips. So I'm not sure. I've got to think about it a little bit more and go back through the footage again. There's a video you can find, and I think that. I think Mark posted it in Discord of the remaining footage, and I'm going to go back and watch that again and see if I can pick out a few more details. And I know that the Rex episode has Wrecker in it, and so if Wrecker is going to change, if he's going to flip, then we need to see that episode first.
Bit of a race against time, isn't it, at the moment? Will Wrecker chip go haywire, or will tech get the reader ready before that happens and sort that out?
Yeah. I love Martin so much. I wish, this makes me wish I lived in the UK closer to you guys. We could hang out better. But this is great. Coachella said it could be Ryder. Pretty sure we're going to see Bridgers again. Ephraim and Mira. Well, yeah, they're not dead yet. Yeah. And Matt wanted Rex up since the second. So again, this race against time that you just mentioned is something that's real. We're going to have to figure it out. And that episode shows, like I said, it shows Wrecker in it, in the footage. So I'm leaning towards that happening sooner than later as that chip progressively gets worse. So that's my thoughts for today. But give me a weekend. I'll watch it again. Opinions are apt to change. So again, thank you so much. You guys go check out Darth Elvis's YouTube channel. Do yourselves a favor.
Very much.
You've got to catch the latest video. And again, I've said it before, but my favorite line was your smoking sister-in-law. And if you haven't watched the video, you don't have the context for that. So that was a great line in there. And if you watch the video, you get the reference. So
I can highly recommend putting on the captions so you can sing along to your heart's content as well.
You absolutely should. You absolutely should. All right. Well, do I think Omega knows something about how to remove a chip? Nope. I don't think so. All right. Well, thank you, Greg, for being here with me today. I've been dying to do a video with you. I'm so happy we got to do this today. And I can't wait to do it again. And I'm looking forward to sparring with Martin again next week. It's going to be fun. All right. Yeah, exactly. With that, my friends, we're at 3:30 today, Eastern. So about 2.5 hours from now, we'll get together on Discord and we'll open the stage and you guys can ask any questions. We can talk about Star Wars some more. this afternoon. So until then, everybody, Merry Christmas, and may the force be with you. Bye-bye.